Today I'm going to show you a magical curve that you can use in Lightroom and Capture One in Photoshop, pretty much anywhere you want, that's going to make your photo edits better almost every time. Most of us grew up on digital, including me, with the S-curve. You've seen the S-curve talked about. It's essentially this S here, this Hogarth's line kind of curve. You can see I've processed this. I put like a filament preset or something like that on here. So if I reset it, here's my straight out of camera. I've done an X-Pan 65 by 24 crop on this, and I have a nice color balance and things like that, but I need to do something with this curve. So a typical S-curve would kind of lift the highlights a little bit, and then we'd come down and we'd pull the mid shadows down, and then maybe we'd even lift the shadows a little bit, but not too much. Okay, so we've done this curve here. It kind of makes it look good, right? So there's a reason that this curve is really popular, and you've definitely used it before. But I'm going to show you a different way, what I call the filament curve. And the filament curve, whether you're using a film-like color profile or not, is amazing because it does something that digital really, really needs. It helps balance out the gradations from your shadows to your highlights. It helps reduce specular highlights, and it helps give you an overall more natural, organic feel. Digital tends to be really contrasty. Not that film didn't have contrast. Digital tends to be a little harsh, and the way we've learned to edit it over the years by having a tendency to push sliders too far also tends to be a little harsh. This is a great example. If you look at this portrait here, you see that it's a little bit overexposed, but even if I dial it back a third of a stop, watch what's happening. We have such specular highlights here, right? There's this nice sunset light, but it's still a little bit harsh. I'm going to go down to the Filmist collection, Portra 400 Gen 2. Look at what just happened. I want you to watch that again. I'm gonna undo, straight raw file, redo the Portra 400 Gen 2. I think the color profile of the Portra-like preset looks great here. And actually you can download the Portra 160 as well, which is another great profile. And that one is actually free over on the site. I'll link it in the comments. Here's our curve right here. Watch me turn the curve off and on. What's happening is the filament curve. The filament curve doesn't focus so much on being a pretty Hogarth's line or being an S-curve per se. The filament curve pulls down to give you shadow roll off. Let me show you what I mean. Let's reset this channel. If I just do a typical S-curve on this, we brighten up the highlights, we darken down the shadows, it makes it actually way worse. What we want to do is kind of brighten up the darker midtones a little bit. So instead of lightening up way up here, we kind of pull this up, right? And then we can pull down. So we kind of start with this S-curve kind of concept, and then we have a tendency to pull the shadows back up a little bit. This can be a lot of different variables depending on what you want. But what makes the filament curve is you pull down. We have this idea that there always needs to be a lot of highlights, but actually whether your highlights have punch is largely related to how your shadows are. If your shadows are deep and rich and dark and have a balance to them, the highlights will actually seem lighter. Not that you shouldn't use your whole tonal range, your whole zone range. I talk about this in a lot of the videos here on this channel. What I want you to do with this curve, and you don't have to use presets to do this curve, is I want you to look at what it does to the highlights. You can put a second point here and decide, hey, I actually want to pull it down sooner, right? So my typical way to do a filament curve, and you'll see this in a lot of my presets and tools, is I just pull this down to about here, right? What this does is it lets the highlights roll off a lot nicer. The more I pull this down, the more the highlights roll off, and obviously you can go too far. So usually I find right about here, somewhere in here is good. It's still a little harsh though, so I'm actually gonna pull a little more down and pull this curve further back so it tapers off even more. And then I'm gonna control the contrast of it and how far we go with it. Try not to get too harsh with a curve. Try to keep a smooth roll off of those curves. A smooth roll off of these and nice smooth rolling lines usually is gonna indicate nice smooth rolling tones in your image. feel like the sun is disappearing and I may need a filament curve on me. The cool thing about the filament curve is it's not just for contrasty situations where you need to balance out your shadows with your specular highlights. It can also work in well-lit situations. You can see I have a clean raw file here, and I'm going to go down and put something like the new Ektar 100 Gen 2. Now you can see that this puts a light version of the filament curve. A lot of my presets do. But let's not focus on the color process. I want you to focus on the curve. Obviously, I'm going to apply a preset or some sort of a process to get me where I want to be with the edit because it's going to save me a lot of time. But I can always come back and apply this curve to anything. I can also use this curve as a mod preset and actually just come in and put the curve, or you can save this curve as your own mod preset to apply over anything. So without affecting any of the profile, the recipe that I just applied, I can decide how far to push my curve for this particular image. So if I pull down the first line, I'm really pulling down the high highlights and letting those roll off gently so they don't seem specular and lean toward clipping. But if I want to reduce it a little bit more, I can take this second point right about the first line here on the curve, the intersecting square up here, and I can just dial that around a little bit. I could also take that second point and pull it up. As long as your lines and your curves are smooth and not jagged and you lean nicely into that roll off, you can take this in either direction. So I could put a little bit of pop light, kind of a backlight light into the image like this, don't go too far with it, and still have that smooth roll off in the high highlights. This curve here is actually working really well, but I might choose to go down to this point here and just pull it down a little further to bring a little bit more contrast into this portrait because it was a fairly evenly lit portrait. If I reset the channel, you can see here is the flatness of it, not really bad specular highlights or anything, actually a little lacking in contrast. And if I do the filament curve here, we actually have beautiful roll off in the shadows and the highlights and pretty much everywhere. This same filament curve not only worked on the image that was having some contrast problems on the high side, it balanced out the image that needed a little bit more punch, but still kept it lively and organic feeling. Smooth, delicious highlight roll-offs. On film, you didn't have this same harsh cutoff point where your shadows went to midtones, went to highlights, and just broke into specular pure white, wanting to clip. Film, because it's chemical-based, has this much smoother gradation than we tend to get in digital, the way it's normally edited, the way it's been taught. The problem is we tend to be taught in digital to drive sliders, curves, and settings too far, to do extreme effects because we can. Because when digital was new, that was new and exciting. And now photographers that have experience and have refined their craft are realizing that we need to look back to what we learned over more than 100 years of film and understand that aesthetically pleasing images often come from being a little bit more subtle. That's why people love the Filmist preset so much, but you can take this same filament curve and apply it to a high dynamic range look. You can apply it to a black and white look. Forget about the S curve for a while. Start using the filament curve and watch the gradations between your shadows, your midtones, and your highlights transform into something beautiful. Most of my filament presets usually have some variant of the filament curve, but you can of course modify it yourself, make it a little bit more intense, roll the highlights off more, and make it look exactly the way you want. Let me know what you think and how you use the filament curve. Maybe no one's even calling that except for me, but I call it the filament curve. Please leave a comment, give a like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. I'll put some links in the description to some of the things I've talked about, including the free Filmist pack. Play in particular with the Portrait preset that's included in my free Filmist pack because it has a pretty good representation of the filmic curve.